Hi, and welcome to Astro Bites for Thursday, the 29th of August, 2024. So let's see what the astrology has for us today. Well, the moon is still in Cancer, and it's actually making a trine with the event chart that I have in front of me to Saturn, that of course is retrograde in Pisces. So this is two water signs trining each other. And the good thing is that Cancer is a cardinal sign. So this is kind of, I think, quite positive for putting some form and structure borrowed from Saturn into some ideas for nurturing, looking after the home, looking after the family, looking after your loved ones, and of course, looking after you. Be your own parent. Be your own mother. I know sometimes we have a lot of people who've had very bad experiences of parenting. And, as I've said many times, parents never get it right. But be the good mother that you would have loved to have had to you. So that would be good use of this energy. And the major kind of aspect that we have today is between Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, very nearly slipping into Capricorn. Three more minutes, and it's trining Venus at the 0 degree of Libra. So Venus has moved into the sign it rules. Now this is super cool because Libra is all about relationship and balance and harmony. So if you remember yesterday, it was in opposition to retrograde Neptune in Pisces. So it was a little bit difficult. But today, with Venus in Libra trining Pluto in Aquarius, we have much more of a sense of the transformation that we can take from Pluto in Aquarius and using kind of higher kind of forms of frequency and connection with loved ones, so that you are able to connect with loved ones on that very telepathic level. It's interesting. I have a friend who's been, since surgery and before actually, helping me out with my cats. And she comes round most nights, and you know how they say when you are with someone a lot, you get into the same kind of, I suppose it's a circadian rhythm. I'm not sure, that might not be the right word, but it's like women will often have their menstrual cycle at the same time as each other when they spend a lot of time with each other. Well, this friend of mine and I, we have found that what happens is we're always turning up in the same colour. I get dressed or whatever for the day. When she comes round in the evening, oh, you're in pink, or oh, you're in yellow, or oh, you're in black. And, it's become a little bit of a kind of a, whoa, if one of us turns up with a different colour, whoa, what went wrong today then? So anyway, I digress, but I think there's something about this. It's the Libra energy. And you remember yesterday I was talking about the vertex, this trigger point that is in space, that is in Libra at the moment. So the trigger point is conjunct Venus. Venus, in turn, is trining Pluto. So this is about something that has got triggered over the last few days to do with important friendships or relationships that can get transformed and turned into something positive today, especially because the moon is trining retrograde Saturn in Pisces. That is so helpful. So it's kind of slowing us down and saying, just take it easy. Everything is actually going to be all right. I think I'm going to break into song in a minute. And Pluto, of course, is ever nearer to this sextile with Neptune. I mean, they've been making it for weeks now. And this sextile is very powerful because it is a very helpful transit or energy. So it's as if it's allaying your fears. Any fears that you had about, maybe I shouldn't have said that to him, her, maybe they think that, maybe she thinks that, he thinks that, it'll get ironed out, so to speak. It will all become clear. So that's the energy today that I want to talk about. Now, let's come on to the word for the day. Well, this might sound a little bit miserable, but you know, it's really good to look at these things because I know that all of you that watch me will all have very different circumstances and lives. Some of you will be happy, some of you will be sad, some of you will be suffering from problems and difficulties. I mean, we all suffer from problems and difficulties at some point, and most of the time in some form or other. And for others of us, it'll, you know, kind of goes along quite smoothly at times. But, you know, as I said the other day, we're going through extraordinary energy at the moment with the astrology, and that's going to be around for the next 2 to 3 years. And it is, we're living in extraordinary times. That's the best way to put it. So, and this is really about how we live. And our society has kind of pushed us into this situation where so many of us live alone and live separately, live separate lives. Obviously the pandemic was one of those things that kind of triggered a lot more of that, especially with a lot of people choosing to work remotely. Is that actually a very good thing? Now, the word I've picked for today is loneliness, because I think it is something that we all feel at times, whether we're sublimely happy at being on our own or not, because there is a huge difference between being lonely and being alone. When we are alone, we are actually choosing to be alone and be comfortable in our own company and comfortable in the hobbies, tasks, work, passion, whatever that we choose to do. But we have chosen to be alone. Some people haven't chosen to be alone and desperately need the company of other people. And so they experience and get stuck in this terrible sense of loneliness. So how do we break that cycle? Well, loneliness is an interesting thing because this is where you have to be aware again of parenting your inner child. This is inner child work, because it's children that will often say they feel lonely or bored because no one's around to guide them or stimulate them or think, you know, you think of children that go, oh, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. And whatever the parent or the caregiver suggests, that, oh, I don't want to do that. That's boring. I don't want to do that. And so often as adults, we still get stuck into this. It's like a cycle. It's loneliness that leads to lack of motivation and procrastination, and mentally and psychologically takes us down this kind of negative spiral into a pit of self-despair that can manifest as depression. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think the more we are aware of whether we have chosen to be alone or whether when loneliness comes upon us, we find it difficult to get back into the choice of being alone or the acceptance of I am currently on my own, but I'm okay, and that is okay. So it's actually about that shift from lonely child, where parent is not perhaps around or parenting in a way that makes the child feel secure and loved and warm, and alone, which is what we choose to do. So if you're feeling lonely, if you say, oh, I just feel lonely, you know, you're talking to a friend, I feel so lonely, I feel so lonely. It's your inner child that is talking, and it's usually coming from a part of you that can't motivate yourself to find something that will energize you, inspire you, excite you. When was the last time you felt excited if you're caught in loneliness? You know, it's an important thing to think about. So I thought that would be quite a good word just to ponder upon. And, you know, when we are happy with being alone, actually we're in our caring parent adult part. So if we're lonely, we're usually caught in that inner lonely child and caught in everything that that can represent. And if we are alone, and as we're alone, we become aware, oh yeah, I'm on my own. Oh, it's okay. I'll get on with this now, or I'll do that. Then it is the adult part. So if you're lonely, you have to give that lonely part of yourself some attention and love, and metaphorically, symbolically, hug it, hug yourself. You know, sometimes we just need to touch and just think, actually, I'm not on my own, I've got me. So remember that you've always got you, and I've got me. On that note, I will leave you to peruse on the astrology and the word of the day. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you for another Astro Bite tomorrow. Bye for now.